Ah, we lost Dusty.
So I'm gonna have to read that later, but that seems interesting.
It's some pretty neat shit.
Dusty.
Yes, hello.
Hi, Kaden.
Oh shit, I'm level 20.
Oh, who's
I'm such a large level in this server. I don't know what that does.
So much power.
I know, right?
unknown, undefined power, but I have lots of it.
Yeah.
Oh, do any of you play Magic the Gathering?
Yes.
Do you play Commander at all?
Yes.
Not in many, many years.
Okay, well, do you know this new card, relatively new, named Rograk, Son of Roga?
I haven't bought Magic cards in like 15 years.
Okay, well, they had this set come out that was called Commander Legends. It was specifically for Commander. I can find a quality picture. There we go. He is a 0 mana, 0/1, first strike, menace, trample, kobold. Kobold warrior.
Okay.
His flavor text is strength is relative.
You know what? You're right. Literally free unit.
Free unit with 3 powerful keywords.
It's not bad.
No, you just gotta make him bigger.
Cast and large. Done.
I throw equipments onto him.
So you got
Yeah, Power Stone. I knew you'd react to that.
So what you're saying is he can fight a squirrel token.
No,
Scroll tokens are 1/1s.
he will die if he 1v1 a squirrel token.
I know, because I have Squirrel Nest in my Core Vault deck.
But if he was attacking, the squirrel could not block. But if he blocked the squirrel would kill him.
Or any fight spell, if the squirrel would fight him.
Correct. Oh, also Power Stone. Congratulations on 100%ing Ocarina of Time. It's a pretty big achievement.
Yeah, for real, that's fucking rad.
Like, it's one thing to do everything but the Skulltulas and the Piece of Hearts, but to also do both those things is a lot of dedication.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think that 100% completing 4 swords was like the crowning achievement in my life.
Power Stone, if you didn't get some help with that game, then you would have been trying to 100% it for like weeks. There's so many tiny things that you need to search for hours for just to find in that game. Oh, I was watching him play it because he was streaming it, and he got through the shadow. What was it? The Shadow Temple part of Ganon's castle without the fire arrow because he missed the fire arrow. But somehow he did it by like lighting torches with Din's fire and using grappling hook. He did a lot of stuff.
Oh.
Hey, it was cool. Not everyone would be able to do that.
Okay, but did you fight Ganondorf with the bottle?
Oh, when I played Ocarina of Time, I learned through trial and error that you cannot beat Ganondorf with the Big Goron sword alone.
Oh, well, yeah.
I literally sat there for like half an hour continuously fighting him because it didn't occur to me to take out the Master Sword. And of course, as soon as I did, I hit him once and I essentially won.
Well, yeah, the Master Sword does like ×8 damage to Ganondorf, but also it's cutscene required.
No, it's cutscene required, but the Big Goron sword I think still did more damage. It's just the fact that if you don't trigger the cutscene, then
The
he
fight
just doesn't go
doesn't
down.
Yeah.
Exactly. Alright guys, tomorrow is not tomorrow, but tomorrow in game is the grand opening of the Kingly Kobold.
General gasp.
It's going to be insane.
I'm so
It's gonna be
excited.
Crazy.
We haven't even opened yet, and we've had our first bar fight.
Yeah.
I know. It's like a real tavern.
It feels like a real tavern already.
A real adventurer tavern, to be
Exactly.
exact.
Correct.
I think from the last party I may be banned from consuming alcohol.
You check. I mean, go off, I guess.
Puts a no the Fury aloud sign on the door.
No, the Fury allowed.
Not allowed.
And
Put a big old
Man.
sign in front of it.
I don't care how many planes of existence she might be able to go to, she's banned here.
Not allowed.
Foreboding.
For
Now-
Bowden.
Now we need a picture of her knocking on the tavern and just a big old Fury symbol with X just going, oh.
Not an X, it's the circle with the strike through.
Yeah.
No.
She's actually kind of stuck.
Oh, dude, Zerth. Well, could you, like, make my tavern a holy site?
I mean, technically I think I can.
Actually, I think that requires a year. Does it require a year's worth of casting to do that, or is that like the one that's for like a couple of weeks?
That's to make it permanent. I believe
Yeah.
if you're talking about consecrate.
It's probably consecrate. Is it a year to make it permanent?
I believe so.
I think they're almost all of them are a year to make it permanent, but I feel like remembering there's one or two that are like a week or so.
Sanctuary?
Yeah, Sanctuary.
I feel like I could
I
could probably
think it's
just bleed on the tavern floor and make it my holy site.
Not Sanctuary, Consecrate.
That's what I said.
I know, but
No.
first then
I was looking at Sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
All right, everybody. Hello and welcome to the stream. I am Rosalin, and this is Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons. Cobalt, how would you like to do the recap?
Okay. So, everyone was winding down after the end of the big banquet. I did so well that they gave me my own tavern that I soon named the Kingly Kobold. I fixed it up. I paid a lot of gold for that, and I already had my first bar fight where some of the local mafia decided to invade, and we kicked him out. Also, Sapphire and Dusty looked for gemstones. Dusty freaked out a little bit. I don't know what happened there. And Zerth also did a thing.
I did a small oopsie, but just a small one.
Just a little one.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Totally fine. Maybe a little bad.
We had a
it's
family
not-
meeting.
It's not consecration, it's hollow. I think.
Hmm.
And it casting time is 24 hours and lasts till dispelled.
I think that is correct. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. It's only
Do you
60
have-
feet.
Do you
And
have
I would
hollow?
imagine- Sorry?
I was asking Zerth, do you have hollow?
I have level 5 spells, so give me a day and I can learn it.
There you go. Alright, anyways, so last session was basically filled with you guys having a little bit of downtime. I believe Rosalin and Dusty, you guys went and did some spelunking,
Yes.
finding a decent amount of gemstones and geodes and all sorts of nice little sparkly rocks.
I did not eat them.
Did not eat any of them. None of them were dragon shards, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. But
Yeah,
they
you're gonna
looked
eat.
good enough.
They did look very good. And I'd imagine at some point you would have like tried to get a nibble in, but seems that your teeth really can't handle mundane gems.
Eh.
Just tastes kind of salty. But I don't remember what Tsinil did. But I know Zerth made a fighting arena inside the extra-dimensional villa. Along with the help of...
I took down a mob
Sorry?
boss.
Oh right, you did. You accidentally killed him, but you still got the reward money from it, as he was wanted dead or alive. My music's a bit too loud on this end. Here we go. And Yark, you basically just spent the whole week getting your adventurer tavern up and running, the Kingly Kobold, which is currently residing in the Death's Gate district of
I think that's
of Sharn.
right.
and it's in a large circular tower, taking up one of the sort of larger slices of the pie. But it's much taller than it is wide, consisting of a main floor, a floor above that, and then another floor above that, in addition to a basement below the main floor, where the storage and the kitchen is. At the moment, there's really no extra necessities. There's a single a room with a handful of simple tubs and baths. And there's really nothing special aside from the kitchen and aside from the tunnel into a handful of bricked over catacombs in the basement, which used to have a handful of skeletons in.
Yeah, aside from that.
Aside from that. But your first night...
Oh, and the bedrooms.
Sorry? Well, and the bedrooms, of course.
Oh, how many of those do I have, by the way?
That's a great question. I think at the moment you'll have room to sleep about 80.
Oof, I didn't realize it was that big.
Well, currently, right now, the second floor, the floor right above the tap room, is pretty much a large sort of common room sleeping arrangement. So there's fabric dividers between each of the beds, but otherwise it's a very public kind of packed together setting. But it's very cheap.
So
That's where the majority of the beds are. But I'd say you've got 10 smaller capacity rooms.
I know there was a list somewhere that tells you what everything costs.
If you could find me that list, I'd be very appreciative.
So I know that was extremely vague. I mean, like the cost of room and food for each level of comfort. It took me a moment to realize exactly how vague that was.
Yes, how everything costs. That's going to be a heck of a chart. So, on your first night, basically serving nobody but friends, as well as the workers who helped renovate the tavern, you received a visit from a nearby, not really a crime lord, more of just kind of maybe a lower lieutenant sort of a mafia man or something like that, organized crime guy. You really didn't get any info on exactly who he was affiliated with, but he tried to extort you guys into some sort of protection scheme before you very quickly beat the crap out of him and threw him out.
And invited him back when we're open.
Forgot about that one. But yeah, that's basically where we left off last session, and now we're picking back up. Oh, sorry. As in the middle of some of that fighting, Dusty was overcome by what's clearly the Fury. Basically taking control of his body and attempting to strangle Rosalin to death. Almost succeeding were it not for Dusty's sort of monk-like abilities letting him shrug off that influence.
And
as
Rosalin
it started to...
super strong.
Correct. However, after that, while you were asleep, you received a visit from the Fury. Yeah?
Karma says, let them eat cake and pay taxes. The donation goal was completed.
Perfect.
That's a big donation goal, too.
Interesting.
I see somebody knew exactly what that donation goal was about.
It was kind of obvious.
Birthday party.
But you received a small visit from the Fury while asleep in the extra dimensional villa.
She did not want to play.
No, and she gave you a quite blunt threat that soon she'll figure out how to get to you.
I mean, before I very clearly stated that this was a partnership, and alright, if you're gonna find some way to take over my body, I'm gonna find some way to resist you.
Mm-hmm. So
And then I kicked out his door and slam dunked him into his father because he was being noisy.
correct.
Yes, nothing like spiking a bat into a gator and saying it's family time.
Mm-hmm. It's how we do it in the Cameron family.
Not
As
wrong.
morning finally comes in the villa, some of you more well rested than others. What are you guys gonna be doing?
Well, I'm going to reach for dragon shards. It's been a while.
You gonna imbibe?
I'm thinking about it. It's a bit early in the day, but it's 8 o'clock somewhere. 8 o'clock somewhere.
High noon somewhere in the world.
Can we just say that Yark had asked Tozer to basically prepare Hollow the night before?
Sure. That sounds reasonable.
And Zerth, would you be okay with doing that for your day?
Feed me meat and water, and we'll call it a deal.
Oh, that's
So
right.
what
I should
kind of
probably
big
isolate
meats
myself first.
Do I have available to me?
I mean, you don't really have any suppliers set up just yet, but you know quite a few people in the biz. So being a large merchant port like this, you could probably get any sort of meat that you like, really. It really just depends on cost.
What you in the mood for, Zerth?
People meat. Train snacks.
Very illegal.
Extremely illegal.
Yeah.
Go downtown and let's see how illegal it is once you claim self-defense.
That doesn't.
Is there caribou in this world?
Elk, reindeer, all sorts of various large.
Venison.
Yeah.
A large.
You should totally add the tongues back to the hallowed, by the way, so that
that's
everyone
it.
can understand each other.
I was actually gonna have him cast the tongue version of Hollow on the tavern.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, he was like, today feels like a deer kind of day.
All right, I'll go buy a pretty big deer.
All right.
A whole ass big honking deer.
Mm-hmm. Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Am I gonna have to pay for this hallow? Because I just saw the spell component cost.
I want to look at it.
Look, man,
Oh,
Yark
I didn't
doesn't-
even look at that.
Yark
Hold up.
doesn't know this thing.
Holy.
Oh, that's a good one.
What is
Uh,
You
it?
guys have plenty of gold. Don't worry about it.
We did
Herbs,
get a
oils,
lot.
and incense worth at least 1,000 GP, so that would be 1,000 Galifars.
So, Yark,
Hello.
heading to a place you've been quite a bit, especially during the preparations for the banquet. You head to one of the larger meat markets, sort of poised right atop the one of the entry gates in Terminus. It's a large sprawling place with all sorts of various imported foods. There's grains, spices, vegetables aplenty, and an entire level of one of the towers dedicated to nothing but meat. You can
This place is class.
What is this place called Arby's? What is this place?
The meat tower.
The
Oh god!
Tower of
don't call it
Meat.
the Tower of Meats.
We
Don't call it
have the meat.
It is named that, at least in the local
Lexicon.
lexicon. That's the word I was looking for.
call it
Unfortunately,
the
it has a
tower.
much more mundane sort of, Zaxbo Tower or the White Gold Tower.
But no one remembers it.
Nobody really remembers that, and it's just kind of, nerd paperwork stuff that only rarely gets brought up. But everyone just kind of remembers it as the Meat Tower. As you head in, you manage to snag yourself a full, fairly healthy caribou. You know that the sicker ones and the older ones are a lot less expensive, but it's worth it. You find. I'd say you find a full elk for 200 Galifars. And it's
Oofda!
about 250 pounds of meat.
It's
Hey,
it's
Dova,
big.
Mm-hmm.
I need less meat.
Is
You
it too
want
much?
to buy less?
Yeah, maybe like half a deer.
Okay. Go ahead and add 125 for 75 Galifars then.
125 pounds of meat. Got it.
Wow, Zerth,
That's
he's cheaping
a
out.
lot of meat.
Mm-hmm.
Still a significant amount of meat. It's
Fallout 4 tax Surf will remember that.
You said
There's never enough meat.
120, right?
no, that's Telltale Games. That's
125 pounds for 75
25.
Galifars.
Okay.
All right, so Zerth, you were thinking about casting Hallow on this tavern.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and do so if you wish, and make sure to to subtract.
like and subscribe,
Oh,
everybody.
good lord, that was.
Subscribe, like, and comment.
Oh, I need to step back for a moment. Go ahead and subtract the gold.
Sorry, guys. Dova's gonna be reeling after that one. Dova's gonna be.
Fucking.
I may need a loan because I do not have 1,000 gold right now.
Someone who's absolutely brimming with cash.
What about your mother?
It was your idea to cast tongues.
Dusty, by the way, as you imbibe in some of the dragon shards, go ahead and roll me a d10,000.
Oh boy. 10,000, you say?
Yep.
How do I do that?
Just go ahead and roll 4d10.
Okay.
All right.
See, one platinum dragon is 100 Galifars, right?
Correct.
Oh. Oh, I have enough. I have 11
How-
platinum dragons.
Oh,
Oh, you're rich. Don't worry about it.
That's why I'm like, wait a minute. Alright, let's just delete that and just put one platinum.
Dusty.
Neat.
So describe to me where you are while you are eating these.
Yes. I did say earlier. Wait. I should probably isolate myself before I do this. I should.
Mm-hmm.
Of
So,
course, Zerth.
where would be a good place to go to eat these? Because I'm in a city. Unless I go to the mansion. Which is not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's say I'm sitting
Or
next
just like
to the garden.
crunch them under an
Okay.
overpass.
So, you can see off in the distance the groundskeeper flocking some of the goats to a different patch of the sort of sweeping meadows to prevent them from kind of eating one place barren. A very faint breeze kind of blows through, rustling some of the leaves on the little vegetable garden. As you kind of sneakily reach into your little bag of dragon shards and start popping them into your mouth. The familiar, very pleasant sort of spritzy crunch. It tastes well. It's been a while since you've done this, and you remember it kind of why you love these so much. However, you feel a strange sort of fuzziness in your legs, almost like they're sort of falling asleep. As you look down, you see your legs are slowly becoming translucent. And after a few moments, you suddenly drop down onto your now barren hips.
Well.
Your
If it
legs
isn't
have
the consequences of my actions.
as your legs have now disappeared.
Well,
Good thing you can fly.
Sorry, what'd you say, Dusty?
well, I said, like, well, if it isn't the consequences of my actions. Can't say I'm too entirely surprised, though.
Hmm.
What am I gonna do about this? They will be super pissed if I come back like this.
As you're kind of pondering this, you start to feel that pins and needles sensation in your legs again, as sprouting, kind of growing from the little stumps are your legs. They look about the same, and as they kind of push you upwards, it's a very uncomfortable, strange sensation as you are slowly kind of pushed back up onto your 2 feet. Your legs now intact again.
Ooh. Well, alright then. Go off, I guess.
All right. Tsinil, what are you doing?
I don't suppose we got time for me to go on another hunt.
That depends on sort of how much of how big of a bounty you want to chase.
I'd say not as big as the mob boss, but something worth my time.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a survival check and a investigation check. All right, so try to squeeze this window back in. Go smaller. I've broken this.
Oh no, again.
Okay, there we go. That's the corner I want. Come here. So, checking the local bounty boards, you start tracking down a individual who's been involved with some local unlawful animal fighting rings. And after about a full day of tracking, you come across him by chance in one of the nearby markets. I want you to give me an athletics check. Athletics or acrobatics to catch him.
Alrighty.
As he does notice you, and takes off running.
Oh boy.
Well, let's see how he rolls. Despite all the various things thrown into your path, all the people you run into, you managed to actually keep pace with him. Although he is slightly getting away. Go ahead and give me another roll.
Haha!
Knowing this place well, you take a shortcut, dodging through a very thin alleyway as you basically vault over the wall, leaping over some of the people currently in the alleyway in your way. But almost as soon as you pop out, you just see him running right in front of you, and just leap out and tackle him to the ground.
Get the manacles
After that,
in.
he doesn't seem... Sorry?
Get the manacles in.
Yep. After that, he doesn't seem to put up too much of a fight, as he knows he's probably not going to have a good time, especially with the large, loudly growling, what looks like a barely tamed wolf next to him. But after taking him into the local law office, you manage to bag the higher of the reward, since he is currently alive and, aside from a few bruises and scrapes, unharmed. Go ahead and add 450 Galifars to your inventory.
Cool. I did want to look for some more manacles, by the way. Magical ones that basically are impervious to being broken free from.
Okay, that's probably a good idea, especially since counting in the middle of counting all of your new coins and kind of walking out, you realize you forgot to take your manacles back. So you did lose one pair, but you know they're mundane, so.
Should we be alarmed that Tsinil just seems to keep getting manacles?
As long as there's no more traps, I'm willing to overlook this.
Zerth, where are you?
Boy. Currently,
I don't want to know what
prone.
you've done with your room in the mansion anymore.
I mean, he's in the Kingly Kobold.
I have a deep and terrible concern.
Oh, Zerth is in the tavern? Excellent. Make a dexterity saving throw.
I am not allowed to use my tavern.
Because Big Meatwall is defined as dexterous.
You don't actually have to make a dexterity saving throw. There are no traps here.
You stub your toe on an exposed penny nail in the floor.
I call shenanigans.
The
I
builders,
have the
they
feeling
did
that's
well,
going to be
but
blamed on me
unfortunately, you're gonna miss some of those little nails.
I'm gonna hammer that nail back into the floor.
And the floor.
with your legendary artifact hammer.
Yep.
Destroy the floor.
Well, I know. I just imagine with this giant warhammer, just like tink, 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 tink. All right, it's in.
Choking it way up far in the grip.
Which one? Because one's the war pick and one's the war hammer.
The war pick has a flat side.
Yep.
The handle.
No, the war picks actually do have a hammer component.
Yeah, on the opposite side of the pick.
Kind of like a okay. Tsinil. So,
Yes.
mundane and well-made manacles are easy to find. However, there is a set of super high-tech, high magic dimensional shackles that you've heard of. Go ahead and give me an investigation check to see if you can find anyone to buy it from.
Maybe consult my, people that I've worked with the guard and such, doing the hunts.
Mm-hmm. Still, you do get a lead of exactly where to buy it, though when you get there, it seems to have sold about a week ago. As far as you are aware, at least with the time that you spent searching, you aren't able to find a seller of dimensional shackles. But you can certainly try again tomorrow.
All right, I will try again tomorrow.
All right. Rosalin, what are you doing?
I'm gonna be asking Zerth if he needs me to help in any way, because I don't know how the fuck this works.
If you want to channel your holy power? I don't know. I've never really casted this spell. Never really had a standard place for long periods of time to do so.
I don't know if it counts as holy. It feels more like indigestion. She lets out a burp.
Oh, so I was reading Holy, right? And it gives a list of extra effects, but it also says the DM could provide other extra effects that it could potentially have. So, first of all, it doesn't let It doesn't let celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead enter the area, nor can such creatures charm, frighten, or possess creatures within it. And then the second, it lets you bind an extra effect. It can be any of the ones listed, like tongues, or one provided by the DM. And we can choose who it affects. Now, I'm just going to go with tongues unless you give me a more appetizing potential effect.
Are you looking for something to enhance sort of foodliness of the building?
Well,
what about like a Song of Rest enhancement kind of thing?
Where when they roll hit die, they get extra HP.
Basically, it's flavored as people actually get a decent fucking sleep in this place.
I mean, that sounds good.
Up to Nova.
Just rest.
Be gone, you nightmares.
Like rests are much more restful. And I get like the Song of Rest specifically says when you take a short rest, you get extra hit. You get to roll, you get to roll extra die with your hit die. So maybe that it can be a lot more restful when you're here.
Or
Okay.
relaxing.
I'd say for something like that, then maybe Exhaustion is removed at twice the normal rate, so 2 levels per long rest. In addition to, whenever taking a short rest, you may act as if all dice rolled are rolled at maximum.
That sounds perfect. Like, tongues is great for everyone to be able to communicate with each other, but honestly, odds are they'll be able to do that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And you want something that sets your tavern apart.
Exactly. Not that every tavern is probably going to have a 5th level, invocation spell placed on it, but still.
You'd be surprised. I bet a bunch of taverns around Shard, at least, probably have the no teleporting rule placed on them.
This is a 5th level spell. That's pretty rare, even in Eberron.
And it's cast by a gator, so it's got that little gator signature on it.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind of green and slimy. All right.
Gator patron.
Also, I guess not many clerics can attest to having their gods standing watch over them.
Yeah, it's like doing your work and your manager's right behind you.
It just
Except you're also
raises my blood
your
pressure.
manager.
Oh, don't worry, I am one who raises the blood pressures.
So is Dusty, arguably.
So
My
is that
legs are gone.
And they're back. So is that what you're going with? If
Yeah.
you are going to cast a spell.
Sounds great.
All right.
Oh, what the hell? I guess that epic mage was, like, ridiculous. Sorry, I'm just talking about the Stream Raiders for a sec there.
So.
Wasn't that epic?
As you guys, I assume at this point in the day, Tsinil, you would have made your way back after that first bounty, which honestly didn't take long at all. You were maybe on that case for maybe 3 hours at most. But I'd say that you guys are probably now just kind of hanging out in the tavern for a few minutes, having a little breakfast, free of charge? ? Yark.
I mean, yeah, I bought a lot of venison.
Fair enough. You just did buy it, so it's gonna take a while to actually cook it well.
Serve it to me raw.
That's okay. I like my meat, but rare anyway.
Fair enough. Blue rare is a thing. So, as you guys are kind of hanging out, having a small breakfast, you hear a fairly firm knock at the door to the tavern, as it is currently locked.
I go open the door.
Opening the door, you see a extremely well-dressed half-elven man. His hair slicked back. He's wearing a pair of small glasses on his nose, and he is very well groomed, very well dressed. You can see by his side is a satchel with a handful of what look to be large tomes inside. Yark, you answered the door, right?
Yeah.
Master Yark, is it?
Hello, that's me.
He extends a hand out to shake.
I shake his finger.
And a good morning to you.
He'll probably bend down because I'm still 1 foot tall.
Mm-hmm. He's like bending down. He does have the social sort of intelligence to not crouch down when talking to you. But he looks down,
rare.
saying, "I'm Sir Balthazar Exidran, and it's a pleasure to meet you."
Nice to meet you too.
I wish to congratulate you from the city itself as to the completion of your new tavern. However, in a way, I do bring rather unhappy news that I will be walking you through the collection of taxes on your property. I assume you at least have a basic concept of how taxes work in the city, yes?
I think I just give you money.
Well, not quite. You see... sorry. May I come in?
Of course, I open the door for him.
He takes a brief look around, noting the presence of the rest of the party members in the tavern.
One of them seemed to be deep in a trance, casting something.
Yeah, there's a large sort of magic, or there's a large ritual circle drawn in chalk on the ground over kind of in the middle of the in the tap room.
He's feeding him a deer leg.
Let's go smoke a cigar.
You intend to open this tavern for business, yes? Correct?
Of course.
Well done. I do have a few forms I need to walk you through as to exactly what taxes will be collected, when, and exactly sort of where you can expend to send them, as well as returns, and various tax deductions. If you have a moment, I'd love to go over them with you.
Of course.
Yes, let's see. Going by the address, as well as the type of service, which is tavern/inn, as you do intend to house people here, yes?
Yes.
As was expected. So you will be charged per night per person who stays here, in addition for the total amount of capital which is generated. It is heavily advisable to keep very good records, as having so can ease the process of an audit should one be warranted, which I don't believe it will be. You seem like a respectable business owner, so I don't see any troubles so far.
Good. Glad to hear it. I hope to do well.
Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
That.
All right. So you managed to stay fully awake and and pay attention to a very long, very dull and dry run through of various tax laws that your business will be subject to.
My smartness high, so I'm glad I stayed awake.
Mm-hmm. But just being in the same in very close proximity to the tax man really just sort of saps away your life energy. And even with that fairly robust roll, you do feel your eyes drifting off at one point and kind of have to wake yourself up.
Oh no.
Has anyone ever
He's a
watched,
business incubus.
has anyone ever watched LT Gray?
Yes.
There's a running joke with this doctor who's meant to be super boring. He sounds like, "Hello, my name is Dr. Eugene L. Butterman. That's B as in boring." And then the maker fall asleep immediately after that. Eugene L. Butterman.
Eugene.
Who could fall asleep after hearing that? I mean, truly.
Long story short, because they missed the video, they accidentally poisoned a donkey. Anyway.
Oh. Hey, hold on now.
It was a video on how to take care of your zebra donkey, and apparently they're allergic to bananas, but they didn't know. They fell asleep because the video was boring.
Fair enough. I don't know that donkeys are allergic to bananas.
They're probably not. But it was a zebra donkey and it was plot, so.
Ah,
They resurrected with a magic guitar, though.
this is like a radical series.
LT Grey is a pretty great show, honestly.
Is that the cartoon with the luchadors?
Yes, exactly.
Sort of luchadors.
What is essentially
Whatever they
the
are.
Reaper is like this a skeleton lady with a magic guitar, and they steal it, resurrect the zebra donkey to a zombie donkey.
I
You
mean,
mean an ass?
how else would you do it?
Everyone's okay with it when that happens, though. Like they're like, okay, cool, he's back.
And that's it?
I mean,
That's it.
he's not like evil zebra donkey. He's just not dead. He's just
alive again. Oh, okay.
yeah.
I mean,
it's
there's
exactly
nothing
how it
wrong
was
here.
before.
He's just alive now. What about
Yeah.
it? You want to fight about it? You want to
He's
fight the zebra
fresh out.
donkey?
You want to fight the zombie zebra donkey?
All right. So, after all that, and after signing your name on what felt like about 50 different papers, you are now fully registered, and you've got a nice little bundle of papers showing exactly what sort of things that you'd count, what calculations you'd make. In addition to, right now, you do have to pay some of the taxes that accumulated from it sitting so long, as well as sort of initial purchase tax. And at the moment, that is rounding down to 315 Galifars. I'll write it down for my own convenience. 12 sovereigns and 9 crowns.
Thank you for writing it down, because I don't have it, and that's a lot.
Mm-hmm. It's not something that you have to pay right away, but you have to pay it by the end of the month.
And that's how they get you.
Mm-hmm. Once the tavern is in operation, either you can keep track of this on your own, or I'll keep track of it and kind of keep it in mind when I'm figuring out exactly how well the tavern's doing for that week or month.
Thank you, Dova.
No problem.
Thank you,
Alright.
thank you, massive Skybird, for taking my money.
No, but it's slowly, and it's by the city, so that makes it cool.
Are you sure this isn't another mafia racket? Are you sure?
Who knows? Honestly, he had
This
pretty
one-
official. He had official-looking seals, so you'd have to assume so.
The
My
first
God,
one was the
official seals. They're in
second one was
suits, but
the
they still
mafia
bounce the ball. They still.
It looks awfully similar.
mafia, but smart.
Yeah. That's the way to go at it. Just become taxes.
Become
Yeah.
taxes.
Stop calling them protection rackets and just start calling them just taxes.
Look, if you get a suit and a clipboard, anyone will believe you.
True. You didn't even question him, didn't you?
Oh, I let him in, and he started taking my money.
Yep. And he is just gone. He disappeared the moment he left.
Passive insight check. That was not the tax man.
I don't know who
Wait
that
a
was.
minute. I
mean,
don't
you
know
can
this
give me an
man.
inside check if you like.
I believe.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I might not believe you had we not gotten the donation goal.
I was planning on that. Probably. I just want it to happen.
Zerth's too focused on casting. He doesn't know what's going on. He's just being fed meat and smoking a cigar.
Well,
My
I
boy
thought
getting
the other
scammed.
ritual stuff included
Ah, let's
like
be perfect.
surrounding the tavern with salt or something. I don't know.
Yeah, a bit of salt sprinkled in every corner.
Incense, herbs, burning stuff. I don't know.
Mm.
Slapping my tail against the wall.
I don't believe in gods.
But as you finish up, how long does it take to cast, by the way?
4 hours.
Ooh!
I'm
Uh,
done for the day.
That's his day.
No, that is not a day. That is a level of exhaustion if you fail the Constitution saving throw.
But hey,
But hey, you can get it right back.
Alright, so Constitution saving throw?
Yes. Is there anything else that anyone would like to be doing during this time?
well, I'm broke, so I guess I could go
Still
talk
the
to the
same.
local suppliers.
Okay.
It's the same day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, today is your second bounty.
I could go for another bounty if there's enough time.
Maybe a real fast one.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a survival check for tracking.
Ma'am, I'd like to take this bounty. Okay, cool. He's right over there.
Oh. Oh.
All right.
However, it was not in fact a bounty. It was just a creepy ex, and she would pay you to make him leave.
As the bounty you've taken, the sort of little paper from the board
Oh, wait.
is.
I actually have advantage.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Well,
So, the guy who you were tracking, a minor drug dealer, but I mean it should be easy, right? Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be so easy. As in Malian's Gate, where this guy was, it's basically impossible to find someone if you even have a very faint whiff of working with the law. Which, unfortunately, it seems that you did, as you can't seem to actually find the guy, leaving you empty-handed at the end of the day, as an even deeper darkness starts to creep over the city, kept at bay by the ever-bright lanterns scattered here and there. In the lower area of Malian's Gate, where Tsinil, you've been working, there's not very many magical lanterns at all. And as you sort of head back, it probably cost you about 4 sovereigns for transportation, all things considered. That and probably a small snack on the way back.
But I did not get him.
You did not get him.
Okay.
I know, right? He rolled real well.
By the way, are we allowed to just convert our currency?
Yeah, you're in a big
Okay.
city. You can convert it all.
Because I'm tired of having 3,800 crowns.
I don't know. I like having a bulging coin purse to attract thieves, only to realize, it's all worthless.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I guess I could buy candles with this, maybe.
as the next day comes, Zerth, you are still working on it. So are you, Rosalin. You're kind of helping him along. But you're struggling to keep your eyes open. You're living off of you're staying awake from nothing but fairly strong coffee that Yark is brewing. At this point, every 2 hours, just to keep you awake and sort of mentally in the game. Rosalin, you're feeling the strain too, as the source of Zerth's magic would in fact be, in some part, you. However, as you finally finish the last bit to the ritual, one last little sprinkle of salt in a large, sort of broad circle in the center of the tap room, you feel a very small pinprick of warmth in the middle of your fist, sort of start to grow out, envelop it, and just fills the entire air over the course of a few minutes with this nice, sort of homely, almost like the scent of freshly baked bread that doesn't seem to go away for a while, and just a general sense that everything's nice and soft, everything's nice and comfortable. As all the sounds of the outside world seem to fade just a little bit, and a nice sort of muffled quiet.
The warmth from the fireplace spreads out even further.
Yeah, a large sort of fireplace that kind of bisects the entire floor plan from basement to ceiling, basement to the top floor, as the chimney kind of angles out of the front. Also, you were baking bread for a decent amount there, so
Yeah.
But it is now complete. You've got the primary effect, and you've also got the secondary effect of all hit dice rolled are treated as maximum. And exhaustion is gained back at twice the normal rate. Zerth?
Yes.
Yep. Just making sure that you're actually here, because I wasn't sure if you were muted or not.
Yeah, I'm trying to distract my cat. She's kind of on my keyboard right now.
Gotcha.
I found it. It's called Food, Drink, and Lodging, but it won't let me share it.
Zerth is dead ass tired. He needs a shower and he needs a nap.
He probably might not have the energy to go all the way home. I'd take him out to one of the beds.
All right.
Let him have the floor.
He will crash on the floor. Open the door, boom, on the floor. And he's just asleep.
Dusty appears to walk the dinosaur.
Were
Okay,
you
so
finding the food and lodging?
yes, I did. It's
Where?
food,
No.
food, drink, and lodging, but it won't let me share it because I don't own it, I guess.
Where is it from?
It's from the right interest of PHB. I looked under reference material, chapter 5.
Gotcha.
Would you say this is a modest or comfortable establishment?
I'd say
Now, including the new spell infusion.
the new spell. I'd say this is definitely comfortable. Modest to comfortable, I'd say.
So it'd be about probably 8 silver pieces for a stay.
I'd say a nice charging rate would probably be a Galifar per day, including a meal. In the common sleeping area, and then maybe probably comfortable would be probably 2 Galifars in one of the sleeping rooms.
Okay, so 5 silver for modest, 3 silver for comfortable, for modest meal. Yeah, that sounds about right. You get the meal, the drink, and the stay for gold.
If you want to just include all sort of meals covered, you could probably add maybe 2 more Galifars to that. So a common room would be like
2
2 Galifars per day, but that'll include as much food as you can eat. Whatever's cooking.
Well, a comfortable inn stay per day would be 8 sovereigns. Wealthy,
8 sovereigns. But
wealthy
a
is
meal
2
would-
Galifars.
for a comfortable meal would be 5 sovereigns as well. In addition,
Yeah. And that is per day.
yeah, and of course you throw in the ale too, which is another something. Well,
A lot
you
of
get 3 meals.
micromanaging.
You get 3 meals a day and a snack. So
3 meals a day per... Wait, where do you get the snack?
no, that's what my tavern's offering.
Oh. Well, the per day means that is all of the meals for a day.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they don't do it per meal, they do it per day.
So, how does 1 gold you get the meal, the food, the drink, the stay in the common room, and maybe 2 gold for the upgraded rooms and everything else?
That sounds fairly reasonable, especially for this sort of tavern.
Yeah.
All right. And of course, there's prices for sort of single meals just coming in off the street.
Yeah.
But you don't have to worry about too much. Are you going? I'm assuming you're going to hire some people to actually run the place.
Absolutely.
While you're
I was
away?
just about to say that.
There should be guides for hirelings right in that same area. It should be below that. So services, or no, that's yeah. Probably people to actually run it would be the untrained hireling.
Probably untrained for basic cooks, basic cleaners, stuff like that. Hireling skilled would probably be for
It'll probably be for your sous chef.
the sous chef and like the people who are running the more administrative part,
Mm-hmm.
like handling the money and stuff like that.
A prudent move would be to hire, I'd say, 5 untrained hirelings. Maybe 10. So that would be.
I mean, you have 1 good chef. You've already hired him.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Great chef.
And then I'd say hire the services of an accountant, which
A skilled
I'd say would be the skilled hireling. So overall, 2 skilled, 10 untrained. That should cover any sort of rush that might come your way.
So that looks to be 10. No, 2 gold. Oh, so 2 gold for all the 10 hirelings and 2 gold for the skill.
Yep, or 4 gold overall.
4
So
gold.
6 Galifars for staffing.
I can do that right now, I guess.
Mhm.
I can most certainly get some unskilled just workers through Yolanda.
Oh, 100%. Internships, various. Plenty of people looking for work.
And let's not forget, we could get this even more nitty-gritty by you having to, figure out how many mugs for a gallon of ale. You got the cost of a
All
loaf of
included in
bread,
That was already included in the cost.
No, I'm meaning what you're paying out, not what you're charging.
Yeah, we already figured all that out.
That was technically part of the renovation.
Supplying it and getting it ready for people was part of the renovation.
Mm-hmm. As far as supplies go, I'd say it would cost around 4 Galifars per day. Around. So it would kind of round out to, on an average day, you'll spend 10 Galifars on expenses.
Sounds great. 10 Galifars a day to run a tavern sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm. That means you'll need to find around 10 per day. 10 customers per day. Probably more like 20, just to stay afloat. And you have that rather sizable tax to pay back.
Yeah, that is
along with continuing taxes. And, I mean, you want to turn a profit, eh?
Yeah, clear. Oh, actually, that's much less of a... Fuck! Sorry. He's playing Final Fantasy 14.
Oh.
He's gotten really into raid groups and stuff like that. Anyway. Yeah, I have subtracted all the Galifars. I've gotten my hirelings. Hireling 1, Hireling 2, Hireling 3. Maid 1, Maid 2, Maid 3.
Mm-hmm.
Chef 2, Chef 3.
Barkeeper.
The gang's all here.
Yeah. That's your homework. Come up with names of them.
God. I'm calling
Good
you.
luck. And note they can't all be Stan followed by a number.
Mm-hmm.
No, you heard what I said already. Hireling 1, Hireling 2, Hireling 3.
Really.
Hope you get tracked over.
Good luck retaining them, I guess.
The accountant needs to be called Steve.
Buscemi.
Who's gonna be Wilhelm, I wonder?
So, with that taken care of, as you all settled in for another night of sleep, I'm going to need perception checks at disadvantage from everybody. This is based on sight, so it would not be based on hearing. Oh.
You just had to get rid of my natural 20, didn't you?
Not another nat 1.
That was on
Wow.
a 20. That was on a 1 and a 20.
It was. My last game, I rolled a nat 1 in the beginning.
Oh, at disadvantage. Well, I mean, it's hard to
Yeah.
get lower than a 4.
You could roll a 1.
Yeah.
Well, you were right. I could indeed roll a 1.
Is this where we do the funny meme where you poke your own eyes out, even though technically there's no rules for critically failing a skill check?
Zerth's still dead tired.
Boy.
Howdy.
Jeez, guys. How unobservant are you?
Well, you're the deity.
I know all, I see all. No, I'm not omnipotent yet.
Two more
I know
levels.
some and I see some. Holy crap, we all rolled terrible. Except for Rosalin.
Except for me.
I mean, I wasn't the worst. I was second best.
Yeah, which is not good. There were 3 1s.
The food was too good, Yark.
But thank you. It puts
I
it all
ate
in a
Dragon
really
Charge.
good-
What's your excuse?
It's because the inn is a holy place now, so it's therefore boasting my power because Zerth made it.
Yeah.
True.
I may have made it too well, but too relaxed.
Yeah, everyone's in a deep food coma.
I'm in a Dragon Charge coma, but thank you.
Oh, I guess the day was spent buying people, hiring people, and training
train
them.
snacks, I see.
And training them. So
No, by buying people, we managed to get we managed to crack down the price of the unskilled laborers because we bought them from that place out back. You know,
We got them in bulk.
they were on sale.
Awful. You're awful.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot of ones.
Yeah. The accountant has robbed you blind.
So, as the night's passing, the crickets chirping idly in the breeze. Rosalin, you're unable to sleep for a bit. You kind of get out of bed and start pacing around, trying to put your mind at ease as kind of ideas fly through it at breakneck pace. You're walking through the central courtyard of the villa as you look down the open sort of entryway, the doorless kind of sort of large tunnel that leads from the interior, sort of the courtyard to the exterior, towards the path that leads sort of around the property and then over to the exit gate. And as you do so, you're looking through, and you can see kind of through a dip in one of the hills a handful of solitary figures. Looks like they're slowly approaching the villa. Not from the direction of the gate, but more from the direction of the sort of endless waters that stretch out on all sides around the island. One of them, you're not sure which one, but you can tell that one of them has a somewhat distinctive reddish glow to it, shedding a sort of flickering red light that gets kind of obscured by some of the tall grasses, and as it passes behind some of the other individuals. But just looking at it, you would have a decent idea that something's not good with them.
The no good, very bad crew.
No good, very bad crew.
I'm gonna call out for the ghost maid, whose name I have forgotten off the top of my head.
Fair enough.
You mean the ghost whose name you remember completely, and say it right now in character?
Yeah.
Sophia pipes up from behind you, just saying.
I knew it began with S.
And you see them too, then.
Yes. Could you wake the others for me?
Of course. Do you want me to take a closer look first?
Just that would be good, but don't take any risks. I know you're dead, but still, like, they shouldn't be able to be out there.
Very well. I'll go wake the others then. All right. And she kind of, with a very faint sound of a slight breeze, she kind of disappears. And over the course of the next 4 or 5 minutes, you all find yourselves awakened by the ghost maid, who just simply says, "We may have visitors."
Except for Zerth and Yark.
Oh.
Are you guys?
So Zerth
Not
passed
in the
out on
villa?
the floor in the tavern, and Yark decided to stay there so he wouldn't be all there by himself.
All right.
So it's Tsinil and Dusty, eh?
Well, one you could go get us, but for now, yeah.
As I probably too Dusty, she'd simply say, "I can't find Yark or Zerth here. Do you know where they might be?
They're at the tavern.
Could you do me a favor and go get them? I can't leave, you know.
Okay.
Do so quickly.
Okay.
And try not to go out into the open too much."
Right. Got it. Okay, bye. Okay.
All right. As you sort of speed off, shaking away the sleepiness, as you head through the portal into the tavern, as you see in one of the booths, you can see Zerth kind of curled around on one of the cushions, with Yark kind of on top of him.
Oh, good. He reels back and kicks her in the side.
Oh! Do you do the running drop kick thing where you kick him with both legs and just fall?
Well, yes. However, Yark might be receiving a bit of that too.
No. If you kick him hard enough, then I'll just fall straight down.
Fair enough.
Zerth, you find yourself wedged in between the table and like the couch, the cushion of one of the seats, as you've been knocked off of your impromptu sleeping area. Yark, you sharply awaken as one of your kind of bonks into the hardwood surface of the table, sending a brief sort of shooting pain through your skull. But you are very much awake now.
Basically,
Hey.
ouchie ouch time. Basically.
Oh, nice kick, son.
I learned it from my mother. Speaking of which, we need your help.
That seems about right. What's up? What's going on? Who's dying?
That's to be seen. We don't know yet, but there's like ghosts inside the mansion or the villa, and they're not supposed to be there.
Wait, more than one this time?
Yes.
I'll get my hammer. And he'll get up, probably grab like the last hunk of deer meat and just follow him out.
Yeah,
You know those glass display cases for pies?
Yeah.
There's just a large slab of meat inside there right now, specifically for Zerth.
It's the gator meat.
Yes.
But you managed to get yourself a long rest, thankfully due to the effects of the hallowed ground. As you manage to make your way back into the villa.
I call back, Gar, you're in charge of the shop while I'm gone.
Kind of makes a clanking sound.
That wasn't okay.
So, as you guys slowly kind of convene in the courtyard, Rosalin, from your position, you would have seen that about 500 feet out, they seem to have stopped, and are just kind of standing next to each other, staring in. You're not sure whether they're staring at you or not.
Gonna walk out the front gate and into the the farm area.
Okay. I'm going to share this map. It's not exactly correct as to what the villa looks like. Imagine that the house is a little bit a ways back, and the main entrance is sort of pointing down towards that little bridge across the river.
Gotcha.
Oh, cool. We get a bridge and a river? Nice.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can customize it however you like.
Ooh, we bougie now.
Fancy shit.
We got that tavern income coming in.
True.
We have a single legitimate business.
And then everything went black.
Yep. Well, it's nighttime, so.
Oh.
There you go. I'm just covering up that area that.
For daylight
not
time.
even using. Yeah. So, you guys would be at the north here. As you start to head out into the open, Rosalin, you see a slight shift from their position as they start to head a little bit closer.
Nova, we do have an influence.
All right.
They remembered my birthday.
As you're watching, they seem to be coming closer now, and I grabbed the entire combat tracker instead of the token. I'm gonna lose my mind. Okay, that should be all 6 of you, including DeSoto. Right? Yeah.
Yep.
You're all there. Gar is currently at the tavern.
Correct. And honestly, for the most part, until I get a full crew going, he might be there for most of the time.
Yeah. Started keeping an eye on the place, and I grabbed the combat tracker and moved the whole thing again.
Honestly, he might just stay there permanently as kind of like an eternal guard.
I mean, it is your sort of homunculus to do as you wish with. Not homunculus.
That's something.
Steel Guardian. Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, to be honest, he doesn't. I don't usually use him a whole lot in combat anyway.
Don't forget, Dover. Admit Feather Hands is stupid or draw 42 cards.
Admit that what are stupid?
Feather Hands.
That's true. Sorry, Dova. These are the rules.
It's not feather hands. It's not feather hands.
Oh yeah, you got the claw hands, like
feather hands. Yeah,
Griffin style.
yeah, like what should be on all birds. Big muscular claw hands. All right.
Muscular, you say?
I can
Yeah.
feather hand.
Okay. So, as you start to get closer and start to get closer and kind of start walking over the bridge, you see that the one figure who seemed to have been emitting light is a large, a fairly tall, cloaked figure. You can't really see anything beneath the neck, but you can see two burning red eyes through the darkness, kind of obscured faintly every so often by the large sort of head to ground cloak that they're wearing, and you can tell that they're just burning into you.
Do you recognize this person?
Dusty would recognize exactly who this is.
Right.
Among them are three other individuals. They also have a familiar intensity with their faintly glowing eyes, but not nearly as much as the one in the cloak. And all of a sudden, you guys all hear a voice that is spoken so softly in volume that you can hear it, even from this distance, as though it was right in front of you. Just saying. Sorry to interrupt your sleep, but we're here to take something back. Something that is owned by only I, and not you.
Fury, fuck off. Fury.
I'm gonna respond, Dova.
What's your response?
So here we are again. It's always such a pleasure. Remember how you tried to kill me twice?
Oh, how we laughed and laughed. Except that laughing.
I'm technically not wrong. She did try to kill me twice.
At least twice.
Yep.
You know it's hilarious. I had to think for a moment. I had to think. Is that song lyrics? Am I missing
Yep.
something? If I say
Yep.
if I ask if there's song lyrics, is that going to be the?
All things considered, I've been shockingly nice.
Zerth in the background just waving, hello.
No, smiles.
Zeus holding a
No
little sign.
smiles allowed.
Zeus holding a little sign that just says, "I live, bitch."
Yep. Stubborn gator.
But this
I'm gonna have to kindly ask you to leave.
I'm not leaving until I take back control of what I would own.
You don't own anything here.
As you feel a slight, sort of warm sort of almost stinging sensation in your chest. You look down on your breastplate and you see a single point of that red light kind of emanating from it. It doesn't get any stronger from that. It's just kind of there. You can very much tell that they're just paying attention to you. And in some part Dusty. But they're continuing. They're just on the other side of the large sort of cobbled stone bridge.
How far away, roughly?
The sort of stumbling forms are a little bit more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. About what's 15 times 5? 10 times 5, 125. No, 75 feet away.
Okay.
One of which is kind of splitting off and heading towards the river itself. And you just watch as they start to wade into it. What's clearly an undead.
Oh, beautiful.
I'm gonna point Iron Fang at the Fury and say, "Come closer, I dare you."
You guys, however, need to stay back, and I'm going to shoot a firebolt at one of the approaching zombies.
All right.
You said they're in the water?
One of them is in the water right now.
If you're going to do something with the water, you might want to wait until they're all in there.
Just blast the water. Just blast the entire room.
That would take 24 hours.
You do that again, yeah.
Do it again right now.
I'm not talking about hallowed. I'm just talking about blasting the water, like turning it into holy water.
At this point, I'd probably consider it was already done at some point.
That is a spell, actually. Hold on. Believe it or not, it's called Ceremony. I think it's a level 1 spell.
Yeah, no, it's a level 1.
I'm gonna go run.
So, go ahead and roll to attack as the undead are going to surge forward.
You can only touch a vial of water and have it become holy water with that spell. And it takes an hour to cast. Also, can you maybe put them on the combat tractor so I can just roll onto them?
Sure.
I mean, as much as Zerth bathed in that water.
It might as well be holy. Which one is in the water?
Let's see, that is going to be 11. He's about knee deep. Ooh, go ahead and roll damage. Oh, good lord.
997.
Woo.
Welcome to level 4.
That makes up for the one you rolled earlier, Yark.
Welcome to the level 12 cantrip, Stova.
Let's get spicy. All right, so
I point my doppelganger's claw at it, and that's what shoots the fireball.
It's like a little cannon.
Yeah, basically.
All right, I would like everyone to roll initiative now.
Because I can use magic items as my magic focus.
Hell yeah.
Except for Zerth, not nice.
He's taking his time. He's been through this rodeo with her before.
He's still waking up.
Yeah, he's not a morning person. Still chewing on that deer leg.
Maybe I should hang back a little bit.
Tsinil, you back yet? There you are.
Just got back.
Get him, hun.
This is where I revealed the bridge was an earth elemental all along, and it cast Dominate Monster at 7th level.
That would be fun.
All right, so DeSoda is going to go first, actually.
Go, go.
There we go. Now everybody is visible.
Help if I weren't muted. Apparently, I don't know if you've got it locked or something.
Whoa. That's
Look,
cool.
it's
Well,
literally
what?
the same-
Do you
I can approve or deny your moves.
Never been.
Oh,
The
I
power.
rather like that.
Oh, that okay. This is neat. I'm interested.
I actually do like that.
I have
Oh, hey,
tiny
the,
power.
the tokens don't rotate when you mouse wheel over them anymore as well.
Thank fuck.
Yeah, thank fuck, that was annoying me.
Oh, no. I mean, thank goodness they can't do that anymore.
Firebolt
Can't.
for the first
So
time.
here this entire time.
All right, that is actually going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Very nice, very nice.
And that's it for his turn. Are these walls going to obstruct my view at all, or?
No, they're just like rails for the bridge.
Okay, so I can shoot them from here.
Yeah.
Why not? I'll just go right up on top of this and shoot from there. Have a nice little perch.
All right.
You your perches.
At the moment, you will have an height advantage.
Ooh,
However,
cool.
when they're on the bridge, you will not.
I will.
So the
take
one in the
it.
water, I'm guessing.
For the one in the water, you'll definitely have it.
So Revenant 15, I can shoot for the height advantage.
Or number whichever
Not
one's in the
15.
water. 11.
Oh, but, sorry, I
Okay.
was reading that. I
I
was
don't
seeing
care.
the vines looking
I'm
things
along
as the
for the
bridge.
ride.
Also, Hunter's Mark.
All right.
Gotta remember that.
So it's going to hit.
And that's the one in the water?
Yep.
Okay. Reapply that. And then DeSoda. Again.
Soda's oh
Somebody's
right.
going-
Does it say he can take an action, or he just can make an attack?
Making it. Let me double check it. That's not the right one.
Either way, if not, he probably would have done the attack, the firebolt on his turn if he couldn't do it on his
It's
turn.
fine.
We already did it on his turn.
Yeah.
Oh. Right.
I'm trying to find the right one. Oh, I think it's this. Oh, okay. It's specifically a melee attack. Never mind.
There you go. No problem. All right, is that the end of your turn?
Yep.
Rosalin, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to move beside Tsuda. I need you to approve that. Yep.
Yep.
I'm going to point Iron Fang. So let's see, 10. If I point, how do I get a radial circle on the map?
That's a great question. Personally, I am not so sure.
Go right-click on the map, go to pointers, and then draw a circle.
I don't want it to be 30 feet now.
That's just what I drew to demonstrate. Jeez. You should be able to click on the center of the circle and move it to fine-tune where you want it.
I'm going to point Iron Fang, and I'm going to cast Shatter at 3rd level.
All right. What saves they need to make?
A Constitution saving throw of 17. If any of them are made out of inorganic material, then they have disadvantage, including the bridge. The bridge just gets hit.
I'd say, yeah, the bridge definitely would be damaged by that. All right. Da-ba-dee-da-ba-da. All right, so con save. I believe I can click on that for them. All right. What's the DC on that?
17.
17. All right. Fury makes it. 15 and 5. Five makes it with a 24. And 15 does not with an 11.
Okay. Basically, people who pass take half damage.
All right. 5 takes 9. 15 takes 9, so that brought it up to that. And the Fury doesn't seem to be affected. As you see the cloak just be almost thrown back by the pure force, but it kind of just returns back to position, almost unfazed by the explosion of magical force. You see, it almost for a moment you could not tell whether or not there was an actual body beneath the cloak.
Okay, then for my bonus action for the round, I'm going to rage and then pass the turn.
All right. Fury is going to take a legendary action after your turn. And they are going to move forward. Let's see, what's their speed? It's a really big character sheet. Sorry about this.
That doesn't bode well.
No. All right, so they're going to move 1, 2, 15 feet forward. Just an aura of this almost sort of super deep bass emanating from them as they stare you down. Dusty, it's your turn.
Oh boy. What to do? I am fast. I can zip around just a bit. I have 6. See, light speed of 55. So I have 13 squares of movement. I mean, we are outdoors. I can fly very freely.
True. Very true. Aw.
Should I start fighting that one in the water?
It's up to you. You might have to find some way of striking at it while it's under the water. It's not under the water yet, but it will be soon.
Sure enough. I can run on water though, but that's sort of also redundant because I can fly. Because
Yeah. But it's much cooler.
it is very cool. I can show off. But can maybe do a cool thing.
Do
The
it.
cat is rooting for us.
What if I... How does the aid action work again?
You use your action to the aid or help action.
They might actually be the same
That thing
thing.
I did with
They're the
Zerth
same.
last time.
Okay, then they should be the same thing. You can basically use your turn to add, or to give somebody proficiency on their next attack roll. Specifically against one target.
That was advantage.
Oh yeah, advantage. Sorry.
I mean, there's no way I'm not the two people now most connected to the Fury. There's no way I'm not going to give Rosalin advantage to attack the Fury. Just no way that's not happening.
Woohoo!
All right. So what are you doing?
I'm aiding Rosalin to attack the Fury.
All right. Would you like to do anything else on your turn?
No.
All right. Rosalind is Soda. I need a Constitution saving throw.
The Fury's been making a lot of, let's say, errors lately. No reason to fall into her rhythm.
Fair. All right, that's going to be a fail.
Okay, then I will re-roll it using my fanatical focus.
All right. I still need a con save from DeSoda.
1 sec, sorry.
Success.
Zerth has a kitty on his computer.
Oh no, Kitty is attacking my keyboard.
Uh-oh. All right. That is also a success.
Come here, cat.
As the gaze of the Fury intensifies, you start to almost feel your blood start to boil away before almost your pure willpower denies her presence. Yark.
Oh,
Your turn.
nice. Are any of them wearing metal armor?
Some of them are wearing metal
zombies.
trinkets. One of them would be wearing a breastplate. Unfortunately, that is the one that's currently heading into the water. It seems to be the only one that's heavy and dense enough to kind of sink to the bottom.
Boil the river, Yark. 'Tis your destiny.
My water.
What
first I'm
was your
close.
water? Now it is steam. It is the clouds' water now.
It's air water.
I guess I'll go there.
All right. This system's neat. I don't know.
I like it because it tells me exactly how far I can go. I don't have to count squares
Got
in
it.
it.
I'm gonna show you.
I really
True,
like
that
the
is
fact
very
I
nice.
don't have to count squares either.
Alright, well, question. How's Rosin looking to me? Because she's making a lot of constitution save.
Looking pretty okay. Not touched yet.
She looking angry?
Yeah, very angry.
Ready to
Let me see
fight?
my damage.
Yeah, Definitely looks ready to fight.
I pass her a can that says triple shot espresso.
Rosalin vibrates into the atmosphere.
Do you
I can't- and I-
bother opening the can, or do you just bite the top off?
I bite the top off. Fuck it.
It looks like you're pouring Popeye spinach directly into your maw.
Yep.
I mean, it has the same consistency as canned spinach.
I
don't know about that
Popeye
one,
as a
but
kid.
yeah. It's not just espresso. It's essentially like a can of Americano.
Okay.
But yeah, I cast haste on Rosalin. I say, go get him!
All right. So, as the end of your turn, it's going to be all these revenants' turns. So, with quite a bit of surprising speed, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it is also going to... It's going to use the rest of its movement to emerge on the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to basically dash. As you see it just barrel forward. As it's now close, you can see it appears to actually be the reanimated remains of some sort of seafaring people. You're not quite sure, but you can see webbed feet and a slight sort of a series of rotting gills on the side of its neck.
Silva, quick question.
Yeah.
What level was I going by when I was calculating my spell points? Was it half my caster level?
I think it was.
So I'd be going by level 6 spell points.
Correct.
Alright, cool. 32 is a lot more than 17. I don't know the last time I updated this.
Probably never. 3, 4. You're gonna go right there. As they're gonna hold there for a sec. And they're gonna hold actions. Alright. It is now the Fury's turn. And the Fury... Just gonna go right in. 2, 3, 4, 5. As she charges forward, and with a as the air seems to chill around you, I would like everyone to make a Constitution saving throw, except for Yark. So DeSoto, Rosalin, and Dusty, I need a con saving throw.
Okay.
All right.
Oops.
Oops. Oops.
Oops. Oops.
All right, and for Rosalin, for your what is it, the one that lets you reroll, is that before or after I tell you the result?
It's after. It basically. Hold on, let me find it.
Okay. Safe to say, Dusty, you failed.
So most likely.
Yeah. If you fail a saving throw while you're raging, specifically says if you fail.
Gotcha. So you would fail.
Try again.
All right, go ahead and reroll.
There's a lot of dice you just do there, though.
That any
All
better?
right, that is also a fail.
Okay, well, I have to use it. So.
Dang, that's a high save DC.
All right, so you both take 17 points of necrotic damage
Ooh.
Owie.
as you feel your blood run cold.
Is it
the
strange?
energy and heat just kind of sucked out by the Fury's gaze. What's
I
strange?
think you'll find my triple shot espresso is fighting there.
You're just so awake, Zerth.
I think it's hilarious that the Fury goes before me.
This fitting.
It is. It's very
Much
fitting.
more angry.
May I make a request, Zerth?
What's that?
Don't go join them. Maybe help the archer with the guy that's closing in melee?
Pleading Martin eyes.
Sinnoh's just like plinking arrows at it. Zerth, help!
Well, help over here.
Backpedaling.
I
How are we
actually
supposed to
have
get
a
our
sticker
fur
for
coat?
this. Here, I'll send it in the Echoes chat. As soon as I figure out where I put it. There it is.
Look at the cat.
Yeah.
I know, it's a good kitty. Oh! Except those giant paws are just continuously plinking arrows.
Zerth's just kind of like yells at the Fury. It's like, I will deal with you later. I gotta go help my fur coat over here. You stay there.
Out of fur coat!
You will be my fur coat. And he is gonna go over. Okay, let me see what I have to destroy this thing because he is not in a happy mood right now. You
can cast Turn Undead, which potentially turns into Destroy Undead, depending on how strong it is.
It could. Let's see. I will move closer. No, actually, it's 30 feet from me. I can only get that one. So I'm going to attack that guy. I'm going to do Destructive Wave on Revenant number 11.
All right. What's the save?
They have to roll a Constitution saving throw.
All right. Bada bing, bada bing. What's the DC?
19.
Fail.
Beautiful. It's going to take 5d6 thunder damage and 5d6 radiant damage.
Ooh.
Are you gonna maximize any of the damage?
I'm going to maximize that thunder damage. Because I can do that.
I thought you maximized the entire spell.
No, I can do thunder or fire damage for my channel divinity. So let me see if this will work. Max. Thunder damage. Yep, that works. And then radiant.
Did you have to go so hard?
I like my fur coat, damn it.
Slamming it on the ground.
Smite!
He's just whistling Wind Dixie. I'm walking on sunshine.
Time
You're
feels
just
good.
Wow.
I'm happy right now.
He's actually all smiles. Like, he is very chipper.
We'll see how
This has
long
been
that
a
lasts.
long time coming.
And then he's gonna move over there.
You going in?
Yep.
All right. I press accept. Do it. There you go.
Alright, let's see. I can't do any bonus action, but I'm just gonna hiss at this undead.
All right. Give me a history check.
I would love to.
Oh, are these perhaps the guys you've killed previously in the name of the Fury?
I won!
That would be
I
awesome.
won!
Nothing. Yeah, I mean,
Well,
never seen this guy before for sure.
Looks like
Mm.
rotten meat cake.
Yeah,
I
you're not good with more humanoid faces.
no, I
hard.
tend to eat a lot of them, so I don't remember my meals
Yeah.
half the time. So
You can like distinguish a lot of various like various lizard races apart. Easy peasy. Scales, brow ridges, stuff like that. Man, humanoid facial features they're just tiny, you know?
they
He's
just
also
all
learned to distinguish
they-
bats, but
they
that's
all
for a
look
different
like
reason.
Muppets.
Yeah, it's just whatever. Anyways, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
All right. Ba da bing. It is DeSoda's turn. DeSoda's not feeling great. He just feels a general sense of extreme unease.
Oh, this is a bad place to be, actually.
Yeah.
Well, I think DeSoda will do a bite
All right.
on the Fury.
All right.
Hopefully he doesn't die.
That would be great, actually.
That is going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage. All right. All right. It is going to fail, but it can't be knocked prone anyways.
Damn it! You do that on purpose, don't you?
I'm looking at the stat block right now, and it says it cannot be knocked prone.
Alright, Tsinil will go ahead and put away, well, kind of just like set down the load bow on the ground and switch to the longbow.
All right.
We'll just go with basic. Well, yeah, basic arrows. Oh wait, I have height advantage still, don't I?
Mhm. There's the crit.
Ha 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 ha! And Jim, as soon as I started my turn, Jim had been rubbing my shoulders and apparently transferred his luck.
There you go.
I just got a crit.
That's how that works.
The Luxune is very lucky.
The cat's cursing me.
As my
Okay.
boyfriend could probably attest, having a lucky boyfriend is probably
They
not a
don't?
good thing.
It has to be powerful.
What's up?
True power. What?
Anyone who
Dang card.
who says luck isn't a viable superpower is stupid.
Find an opening, maximum damage, and you have advantage on attacks against the target for 2d4 plus 2 rounds. Even though I already do, but still.
All right. That was that's the minimum you could have possibly rolled for that.
That's just to clear the crit. Max.
You have
Hopefully,
advantage for 4 rounds against it.
hopefully that will apply automatically. Aha! It did.
All right.
And DeSoda again. Because now somebody's in... Oh.
It's not going to hit.
You
Oh,
sure?
That is unfortunate.
Rosalin, before your
Hello.
turn, I would like same 3 people, everybody but Yark, to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Where's my
So-
legendary action?
Dusty, Rosalin, DeSoda. You're not there yet.
You do not meet these requirements. Please update your software.
Success, success. Dusty,
On it.
that's a fail.
Seems
Damn it,
susceptible
Dusty.
to Fury for some reason. Perhaps because I have our emblem on me in multiple places on my face.
That's true. She does have very good control of you, as she is, in fact, going to start siphoning off your own life energy into her. Your hit point maximum is reduced by 11.
Ooh.
Assume I'm also taking 11 damage.
Yeah, your HP follows.
Yep.
I don't know if there's any cool way to track any drops. Actually, you wouldn't take any direct damage.
Just the drop.
Yeah, it would just drop. So you'd instead have 6 wounds. Or sorry, yeah, you'd have 6 wounds, and your total would drop down to 125. Technically, you didn't lose any.
Hey, you can put a negative in the temporary HP slot.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's
you
usually what I do. However, if he takes damage, that will go away, so you'll need to keep that in mind. But at least we know it's a good way to keep track of how much he's lost.
Okay, I can't do the control scrolling thing. Just write down max HP somewhere in your notes.
Oh, well, I mean, like, you can just tell me what damage I take and I can put it in.
Oh, yeah. Alright, so... Rosalin, you are up.
Yeah, one sec. I'm just saving something. Sorry. There we go.
Okay,
So-
I'm about to send. Sorry.
It is time for the blending. The blending reblendered.
Yeah.
I have advantage on the first one, and I have haste, I believe.
Correct.
That is correct.
All right, what I posted on Echoes of Eberron is what I imagine Zerth did to the Revenant.
Yes!
That's going to hit.
Okay. And then by normal second.
Posted it in tabletop image for the rest of you to see.
Oh, thank you. I gifted that by myself. I couldn't find a gif of that moment, so I did it myself, and I'm very proud of it.
Then my hasted attack. Dova, I'm assuming everything but the 14 hits.
Correct.
Okay. So,
Sorry,
yeah.
Get rolling on them damage. Oh, god dang it. I'm getting stuff on my screen. Oh, god dang it.
He's getting his feathers and birdseed everywhere.
I was just drinking from my water bottle, and I got some of it on the screen. I don't know how that happened. All right, as you wail away at the Fury.
Bet you wish you had cheeks now, huh, Avian?
You can't just call me that.
And the
Don't call him out like that, Yark. Jeez, don't.
How do you think that healer's feeling?
It's rude.
Almost as weird as mammals.
But yeah, I'm going to rather confidently and angrily blend this bitch for a bit, and then
You have
pass my turn.
advantage.
At this point, it's very easy to tell that there's actually nothing beneath the cloak. And the only solid thing aside from it is a heavily engraved, engraved with what looks to be sort of stone accretions, and various gemstones and carvings on its surface of a single, almost ancient-looking skull.
Should have aimed for the head. MP3.
Which had Kappa.
All right, so at this point, where was it? There you are. All right, so targets any number of creatures it can see within 30 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is everybody.
Oh.
None of you can regain hit points in any way.
Shut up!
Oh, okay.
For the foreseeable future.
Ah,
All right, Dusty.
Me.
It is your turn.
Remove curse or
I'm just
something like that. Lesser restoration maybe would help with that if it becomes a problem.
You know, Fury, when you approached me while I was actively dying, part of me did think that we could have a legitimate partnership. But you are just really, really incompetent, aren't you? Well, I mean, I tried. So I wonder what'll happen to my face once you die. Very curious. Let's find out. I mean, I did it to myself, so I can't imagine it'll be that bad. No worse than I've already had. No worse.
All right.
Punch.
Get going.
I
That's
just
gonna
hit
miss.
clock.
You almost feel your muscles weaken when you swing. You still get some hits in, but it's kind of hard fighting the person who is basically controlling you. That's 2 fists. I believe you get 1 bonus action fist.
Yeah.
And
Like
then
channel your chi or your dragon shards or something.
I don't know how to do that yet. I have no casting levels in anything. I have no magic, but there is so much inside my body.
it's just waiting to be let out in a explosion of explosion, really.
I wonder if once upon a time we did say my key had wild magic, but that never really came to fruition.
No.
And at this point, it'd just be a hassle.
I think it was more a temporary effect based on the dragon shards.
Did my second attack hit?
Your second attack does hit.
Neat. Thump, thump. And extra punch.
All right.
Oh,
That was close.
very close.
Channel your inner me, Dust.
Serve up extra punchables.
Gosh, I'll try. Gosh, I'll try.
Hey,
Ooh, very nice.
You look bad and you should feel bad.
You also smell bad.
Fury's
that's just
actually looking kind of rough.
Alright, so when we kick your butt, are you open to renegotiating the terms? And getting me to, I don't know, actually listen to you, maybe?
You hold no cards in these deals.
I do, actually.
No, but I do.
Before that happens, as that would be the end of your turn, correct, Dusty?
That is.
All right. I'd like everyone up on the bridge to make a Constitution saving throw. So that'd be Yark, DeSoda, Rosalin, and Dusty.
I have not had good luck with these.
Who needs what now?
I need a con saving throw from DeSoda.
That was almost a 20.
So close.
All right, so Dusty and Rosalin fail.
Ow.
And you two are now blinded. As
I mean-
some of its cloak is just tattered and instantly reduced into a fine dust as it swirls around it in just vicious speeds.
This is less of a problem for me, but okay.
Yeah. Yark, you've got goggles to go on, and Rosalin, you can kind of guess where the Fury is. So you've got that going for you.
Ma'am, I tore my own eyes out. What are you trying to accomplish here?
All right, so seeing what's happening, I quickly put on my goggles. That saves me from the blindness. But I see that Rosalin is not saved from it.
No.
So I take out my magical healing robotic slug.
All right.
I point it toward her face, and I squeeze it. And it squirts slime on her face that washes away the magical dust.
Face
I
feels clean and defoliated.
cast Lesser Restoration on her.
All right. Your face is now clean, it's defoliated, and you can see again.
Exfoliated.
Maybe it's Maybelline?
That's not defoliated. Exfoliated. You said defoliated twice.
Oh, did I? Oh well. Deforested. That's what I was thinking of. Anyway, is that the end of your turn?
You have no more trees on your face, guaranteed.
None more. Trees.
0.
Wee.
I wonder if that's how Ogremach feels when he falls asleep. He just wakes up with a few trees on his face.
So, is that the end of your turn, Yark?
I'm gonna take a few steps back, but yes.
All right.
Please approve my movement, DM.
Of course. So, it is this Revenant's turn as he's going to beat the ever-living crap out of Zerth.
He's going to try.
I mean, that big hammer slam, it needs some sort of crackback.
Big hammer slimer.
All right, that's going to be a 22 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
And, that was on a 20. But it's going to be a 23.
Gator talk big game. Bring it.
All right, so
That does have so much.
technically you are a creature that it has sworn vengeance against. So you're going to be taking extra damage.
Technically.
Mm-hmm. As the flesh on its knuckles has worn away, leading to nothing but these super strong, hard piercing points with each punch that just slam into your armor with just an immense amount of power.
Have you considered your petting?
It's fine,
know
Zerth.
what
You
I
get
did.
to dance fault it back.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna hit it with that. Something. I got a plan.
Whatever. That is going to be that much. I'm going to remove this effect from him because I think I was supposed to apply that to him before I actually attacked, but I forgot to do that. So I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to update your health total as you take an additional 30 points of bludgeoning damage. As it's rage-fueled, magically enhanced strikes just blast into you.
This feels familiar somehow.
All right, so it's these Revenants' turn. And this one finally advances across the bridge far enough to trigger the trap that was placed there. Which, of course, is going to be a dexterity saving throw.
Zombies, known for their dexterity, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Slips on the banana peel
Oh,
Nice.
and falls down into the water.
classic.
I don't know if you can see it, but I give Tsinil a thumbs up.
He's going to use the rest of his action to just get back to his feet under the water. As he's not actually hittable right now, but he's down there somewhere. As the other one is going to come up and start beating the crap out of Dusty.
Good luck to you.
You are not, thankfully, the creature he has sworn vengeance against.
Plus, he doesn't have advantage because Dusty's not actually blind.
Do you have blind sense, Dusty?
Yes, I'm bad.
There you go.
I feel special.
Alright, so that's going to be a 14 to hit, and that is going to be a 22 to hit.
Both miss.
Ooh! Alright.
See, I don't understand how Dusty got so tanky, but it's great.
Bracers of defense and a ring of protection.
Perfect.
Plus
Now you-
max,
now you-
dex,
now
and
you-
wisdom.
Now you need a cloak of protection.
I'll consider it.
I have a cloak of protection +1 to spare because I can't wear it with all my other items.
Cloak of protection
Oh.
+1? Why didn't you give it to me? I have a cloak of I just have a regular cloak.
I offered it to you. I literally offered it to you, and you turned it down.
A +1
I don't
is
remember-
literally
I don't remember
just a standard cloak of protection.
Oh,
You already
I thought a
have
cloak of-
that.
I thought you meant like a cloak of protection +1 where you get a +2 to everything, I guess.
No, because they come in +1, +2, and +3. It's their name.
Oh. Well, I already have a regular cloak of protection. I got one for Christmas.
Alright, so.
Skips a turn.
I want Dusty, Rosalin, and Desodic to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Cease.
Wolf ABG, I keep misreading your name as Wolfbag.
Maybe he is. Maybe he
Alright, I
is.
need one
I-
from Desoda.
Don't call him out.
Constitution saving throw, please. Actually, why don't I just do this? Oh, there you go. Alright, so only Rosalin succeeded. And if you succeed, you don't take damage. There you go. As both the Soda and Dusty feel their life force just be almost siphoned off by the Fury's hateful gaze.
Ugh.
It is going to get noticeably more intact as it siphons your life force away.
Please,
It's
we are
giving them
not.
the slurp?
What?
It's giving them the slurp?
It's giving them the slurp.
How dare?
We're not this close. We are.
All right, Zerth.
He's gonna stagger back a little bit and look to the undead that just hit him, and he's just gonna go, "You hit like a paler priest," and he's gonna hit him with a hammer.
All right, go ahead and roll to attack.
I don't hit with my hammer many times.
That's about.
Hit.
Cool. Let's see. Does this plus an additional 1d8. Did that go through?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So
I didn't see the 1d8. Oh wait,
Yeah,
no,
you
there
did.
it is.
Okay.
You only did 1d8 once. I don't
Oh,
see
yeah.
the extra 1d8.
The second one didn't go through. Okay.
Oh no, I didn't. Sorry about that. I thought
There
that
you
was it.
Yeah. No
16
problem.
damage.
So an additional 6.
Yep. And then he's gonna hit him again.
That's
Oh,
another hit.
If that was me, that would have been a crit.
That's a second almost crit. Do I get the extra 1d8 once?
I think I do. Let me see. Divine Strike.
It's only once
If-
on turn, or one. It might be
if-
once per attack.
If it's the first creature hit, then it's only once.
Once on each of your turns.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so I can only do it once. But he just like underhands him and uppercuts him with the back end of the warhammer.
Give me a history check.
Yes, history.
Yes, that's the number you're good at.
Slightly better.
Oh no.
Improvements.
Faint flashes of recognition. You think you recognize him from somewhere, but you don't know where.
He stops and like overhauls him. It's like, do I know you?
The angry snarl only gets more intense, seemingly insulted that you don't even remember who he is. It's DeSoto's turn.
DeSoto is going to do the bite.
All right.
Ugh.
That is going to miss.
Alright, Tsinil will do the shooty shoot then.
Do that. Pat, pat.
Oh, wait, no. I still have advantage.
For the shoot.
Yes. Oh, for everything against this target. I assume that hits.
Yep, that will hit.
Baboosh!
Very nice, very nice.
And then DeSoto gets to try again on the Fury.
My hamster is getting antsy.
Chomp!
If we be adventurers, let us adventure.
Oh, for the love of...
That is going to miss.
Okay. Oh, there's a free luck point for anyone. I won't use it right now, but... that's an influence, so...
Alright. Before your turn, Rosalin, I'd like...
Constitution saving throw, I know.
Yep. Those are going to succeed. I need one from DeSoto, and I need one from Dusty.
Okay. Okay.
That's a fail from DeSoto. Alright. As DeSoto's come here. There you go. As DeSoto's max HP is reduced by 13.
By 13, you said?
Yep. Oh wait, it's everything. Ah. Actually, that includes Yark, Tsinil, and Zerth as well. So could you please give me Constitution saving throws?
Oh. This was
Denied.
everything then.
Success.
1 second.
Pass. Ooh. Can I roll for you?
Go right ahead.
Alright. There's a con save. I click on NQ. Alright, that is going to be a 3.
You know what? That seems to track with these rolls tonight. I'm hitting hard, but I can't save hard.
Ooh, your max HP is reduced by 15.
Woo!
So it would be 99. And make sure to keep track of what your max is before it.
Alright, let's see. Alright.
Alright, so Rosalin, it's your turn.
Alrighty then. So I am going to do the thing. I am going to I'm going to use reckless attack to give myself advantage in all attacks.
All right.
Nice.
Oof. Hit. No crit. Hit. Miss.
With my bonus action, I am going to use I can forget. Sal's presence. Every single one of the party now gets advantage on all attacks and saving throws until my next turn.
Oh, neat. That will be handy.
But I still get to damage her twice at least.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Very nice. Woo! That's some high damage. Yeah, that's some good damage right there.
Lol, barbarian.
2d8 plus 10, jeez.
Nice wholesome damage.
Oh yeah, the Iron Fang does 1d8 as a standard war pick, but then it also does an additional d8 thunder damage on top of that.
And you have plus 10?
Yeah.
Nice.
Plus 5 strength, plus 1 from magical, plus
Proficiency.
just plus proficiency plus rage.
So after your turn, Rosalin, Fury is going to back up. Actually, they're only going to go
Jump into the river?
here. Well, they're flying, so they don't have to.
Okay.
Actually, they're going to go right here. So that would give an opportunity attack to Rosalin and Dusty.
Well, okay. which I have advantage on at least.
Everyone in the party has advantage. Everyone in the party has advantage. Hey, Lamau.
Oh. I couldn't follow your example, but I came very close.
I'm gonna clear the crit. I'm gonna clear the crit by scoring another crit, but thankfully it doesn't count that on the.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Yeah. So yeah, crit card with magical bludgeoning.
Absolutely.
I don't think magical bludgeoning's a thing.
What?
I don't think magical bludgeoning.
No, it's just bludgeoning. Yeah.
Soften them up. Double damage, and the target must make a DC 12 Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the target has disadvantage on saving throws until the end of their next turn.
Wouldn't be surprised if Fury got a plus 11 to saving throws.
And they did succeed.
Oofed.
That's good stuff.
You're missing
Wait, how is that double?
D8.
I get a 1 added dice for brutal critical.
Right. Oh, that's so much dice.
So double damage would be the 4d8 and plus one from the brutal critical.
Mm-hmm.
And Divine Fury.
Divine Fury specifically just says the first creature I hit.
All right. And that did hit Dusty, so go ahead and roll damage.
Gosh.
Sorry for not saying that before.
Barbarians are
No,
so
I'd
ridiculous.
imagine. But I wanted to let Rosalin go first.
Fair enough.
I guess that's what happens when the
Swish.
barbarian crits with an artifact.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, Dusty, it is your turn.
Is she just floating above the water?
Correct. You can see that the anger in her eyes is almost building to a peak. You feel an uncomfortable, prickling sensation right around your neck.
Quick, chuck slam her into the water, my boy.
You know what? That's a great idea. And he's going to saunter over and say, "I'm sorry, but you did this to yourself. Do I still have advantage?"
Technically,
Yes.
yes, I believe so.
Yeah, it's everybody in the party within range, and it's a heck of a long range.
Sorry, but you did this to yourself. You did.
That's a hit. All right.
Don't worry, there's 3 more. I'm spending a key point.
That's going to hit. Very nice.
Sorry of blows. I'll mark the key
You're
point.
somehow... It's somehow bypassing resistance, so I gotta redo some math.
Yeah, I am bypassing resistance.
Do you have something that bypasses all resistance, or is it just magical?
Oh, magical. My hands count as magical weapons.
Okay. She's resistant to all magic. Oops,
Huh?
that'll be... Alright, keep going.
I mean, does it count as magic or magical weapons?
Magical weapons.
Let's see. Okay. Way. Another one.
Hit. Alright.
Another one.
Downgrade that a bit. Give me 1 sec. Alright, keep going. That's another hit. Very nice, very nice. And is that it?
That is it.
That is it. The Fury looks like she's about to explode in anger. But at the same time, looks very weak.
Great fun!
So you might say that the Fury is furious?
A little bit.
Good to say that. Very good.
I never would have thought.
I think you deserve a timeout for that one, Zoo.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Alright. Yark.
You have influence.
Yes. So, do you want me to let you look over that for a second?
Towards the Revenant specifically, yes. However, Fury is completely immune to being having that done to her. So if you want, we could do that. Otherwise, it would be tentative accepted just towards the Revenants. Actually, the Revenants would be completely immune as well.
Alright, well, I'm gonna step over here.
Alright. So I would
And,
have to deny that one.
I'm gonna shoot Revenant 11 with a firebolt.
Alright. Go ahead and roll to attack.
Whoops, hold on, ignore that. I misclicked.
I have all
Alright,
the
well.
mood.
I don't need bonus actions. Next turn, I guess.
All right. Yeah, that. Oh, sorry. I completely blanked out for a second there. I was. Okay. Okay. So the firebolt will miss.
Tova exists again. Don't worry,
yeah.
everyone.
The
Welcome back, Dova.
actually, no, it would hit because a 13 would hit. That hits.
Oh.
Okay, roll damage.
Wait,
Did
a
you count
13
your
would hit?
A 13 would
Uh,
hit the
I was
revenant.
about to say, I also forgot the advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say
Go ahead
advantage.
and roll
So-
again, just to see if we get a crit. And Zerth, I believe, if you want to, you can leave. That's all right. But we will be finishing up here decently quick, I'd imagine.
I think the flow combat's getting towards the end of it.
That one.
As you're trying to remember exactly who this guy is, his face erupts in flame as Yark's firebolt obliterates just the front side of his face as some of the necrotic energies that were supporting him just fail
I call to you.
as he slowly starts to turn to ash.
Do I get a quick glimpse?
No.
I call to you and say, I figured you might want to get into the meat of the battle.
I take a long drag of my cigar and go, that is true. He will never know.
And that's it.
All right.
Man becomes angry enough to evolve into a wraith.
That one is dead. This one down here is going to spend, since it was upright, it's going to spend 10 feet to go that way, 15 feet to go up, and then 5 feet to go right 5 feet. Is then going to attack Rosalin. Is going to double attack with its kind of sorry?
It has advantage because I use reckless attack.
Correct. Alright, that first one is going to miss. The second one, however, is going to hit.
Okay.
And technically, you are its sworn enemy. So you take 17 points of bludgeoning damage, which is reduced by half.
Mm-hmm. I saw my wounds automatically calculate it for me.
Revenant 15, which is the guy who's actually... Oh no, Revenant 5. He's going to hold his turn. It's the Fury, with a single, almost inaudible whisper, something that barely you can hear, Dusty, says, I'm done with you. I have no more need for your insubordination. Fall. And I need everyone within 30 feet to give me a Constitution saving throw. Dusty.
Yep.
You fail.
Oh, just already.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There you go.
Oh, hey, I'm out of the range, actually.
I think I'm out of the range too.
Everybody gets advantage.
Oh. I mean, I think I have special conditions applied to me, unfortunately.
I
Correct.
don't think you are out of the range, sir.
Zerth, you would be within 30 feet.
Would I? Okay.
Okay.
3, 4,
Thank you
5,
for that
6. Yeah,
advantage,
you're
by
within
the way.
30 feet diagonally. Tsinil, that's a fail. Actually,
Diagonal.
no, that would have been a succeed because you got one earlier.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
advantage, and I forgot about it, so I re-rolled for both of them.
Oh, that's better. My rolls.
Uh-oh.
Combat.
So, Dusty, specifically Dusty and Zerth, this is perfect. Since you guys both had prior connections to the Fury. And as she almost reaches out and tugs on those little wisps of connection, Dusty especially, Both of you are instantly at 0 HP. As you feel the support, Dusty, for your continued sort of, I guess, some of your abilities just get pulled out from under you. As the floor rises up quickly to meet you. Zerth, at the same time, it seems to have struck a weak spot as you hear this angry, furious howl just rip through the villa. Those of you who succeeded, so Tsinil, DeSoda, and Rosalin, you are all frightened. You cannot willingly move closer to it. And all attacks made towards it are at disadvantage, so it cancels out that advantage. Rosalin, I think you have mindless rage at this point, so you can't be frightened. I wouldn't be surprised if you can just ignore that anyways.
I don't have it just yet, but I'll be able to potentially make the saving throw on my turn.
Okay. And at that same moment, as Dusty, as you feel yourself kind of flutter in and out of consciousness, you see as the Revenant uses his action to make its 2 attacks on you.
Ah, how unfortunate.
Yep. And as each of those are crits, they do 2 death saving fails. Sits there.
2 death each, or
No, each crit is 2 death fails. Though.
Yep.
This is instant death.
Yep. As you see him reach down, and with a absolutely almost radiative anger, reaches down towards Dusty's chin. And as you feel yourself drift off, Dusty, you feel a very faint sort of almost plushy sort of wrenching sensation as the rest of you see him twist his head to the side and literally yank it off. There's a horrendous wrenching, almost crunching sound as his spine is just severed. Little kind of dangling threads connected to the rest of his body for a moment before it snaps. Dusty, you are full dead.
I don't like that at all.
I thought killing her was pointless. But there she goes, I guess.
Zerth.
Mm-hmm.
Could I get a death saving throw?
Oh my god!
I mean, that's just proper, really.
That's
I love
okay.
how Delva tries really hard to get the kill finally, and then Zerth just goes and does it anyway.
Yeah.
I'll take this victory from
Okay.
you.
I barely need to try.
So it's like the you know the TF2 death where like they don't explode, they just kind of ragdoll. It's like Zerth is just perfectly laying there, and he goes, ugh. He's not dead yet, but that's what I imagine.
Okay, so that happened.
It's DeSoda's turn.
First off, is the Fury within 5 feet?
Yes.
Okay. And he
However,
has
you haven't seen them
disadvantage?
do an actual like melee attack yet. If you're asking about attacks of opportunity.
No, because I know the Revenant would be I was more wondering about attacking.
It's going to miss.
Is the whole thing where we cannot be healed still in effect?
It is no longer in effect.
Oh.
Great. Tsinil is going to heal Zerth.
All right.
That is it.
All right.
Uh,
Rosalin, I have an idea of what you might be doing right now.
Oh,
I blenderizing, really.
yeah. First I need to. Is it wisdom to shake off fear?
I believe so. Let me check. Frightened. That would not do it. Can you
Okay,
only reroll once per combat, or?
It's twice per rage.
All right.
So technically, if I dropped rage, then use my bonus action to re-rage, I could redo it, but that would be a bit gamey, I think. However, I only get disadvantage on attacking her, so I'm going to reckless attack again. I'm still hasted.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use my normal 2 hits and my my hasted hit to hit the revenant in front of me, and I'm going to use my bonus action to throw the yeet hammer at the fury because you can still throw offhand weapons as bonus actions. So I'd get advantage against the revenant, and my advantage would cancel out the disadvantage from the fury.
All right.
It's number 15 that's in front of me.
All right, that's going to be a hit. Keep going. Close to a crit. That's another hit. That's another hit. All right. And that's another hit.
Okay.
Just go into a blind rage.
Yep. People would think I'm a battle rager if I wasn't a freaking silent barbarian.
Go ahead and roll damage against the Revenant. Very nice, very nice. Keep going.
And then against the fury. Ooh!
That'll do it. As the hammer doesn't like crush into it, it actually embeds itself into the Fury's forehead. You can see the sort of cracks growing in its sort of skeletal cheekbones and in the actual skull, like the cranium itself, as the red anger from inside just threatens to make it explode as it kind of shudders for a brief moment, staring at you. It manages to croak out, "This is not over.
Oh
This
no!
is but one of many attempts."
I'm coming for you next, bitch.
As it explodes. And with that, the hammer drops down into the river, and the two revenants kind of almost stumble to the ground before kind of collapsing back, almost immediately starting to turn into a light ethereal ash. We are out of combat.
I'm gonna immediately
as the bridge is covered in a mixture of old, sort of decayed revenant blood, and the absolute fountain of blood that is Dusty's headless body.
Zerth's hobbling as fast as he can over the sun.
Yeah. I'm yelling for Zerth immediately.
As he walks past, I cast haste on Zerth.
And he's gonna go hold his body.
All right.
Trying to like
I mean, the missing piece is still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it can't. He's gonna try to attach the head and cast Revivify, but I don't think that can work.
Revivify works. He's been less than a minute since he died.
Yeah, but it can't restore any missing body parts, and his head is not quite attached.
Body part is not missing. So
it's not missing. It's there.
I want you to give me a medicine check to align it upright before casting Revivify. The position is very important.
I have never been more terrified to do a roll tonight than I have right now.
Yeah.
Nova, I have advantage. I have proficiency. I'll give him advantage.
All right.
Okay. I'm gonna cast guidance on myself too.
Hold on. You don't cross yourself. What symbol do you do for your squirrel goddess?
I mean, I'm fairly certain this is very much in line with her desires at this moment.
No, I know. But, like,
angry scream.
That's how you guide yourself.
Screaming.
Hey.
All right.
Oh shit! There's that one again.
Hey, 25.
25. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Go ahead and subtract the money cost for Revivify.
All right, I gotta find out that diamond that I've been hoarding.
You do have it, right?
Yeah, I do. That thing never leaves my side. You never know. Subtracted.
I will be. I don't know if it helps, but I'll be putting my hand on Zerth's shoulder, and he can take whatever the fuck he needs.
All right. Dusty.
Me.
You find yourself in silence.
He
And
ponders, thinking,
It's a,
I thought killing me was pointless because I was too useful. I guess you just got mad.
that's about the most rational thing that seems to come across your head for the time being. There's so little anything around that I guess worrying about stuff like that just doesn't make sense at the moment. Everything's peaceful, all the stress is gone, all the pain is gone. You feel finally at ease. Looking around, you see very vague shapes. Odd little clouds that seem to kind of flit around. The colors around you have sort of turned this dull gray. And as your vision sort of starts to fade in, you see all around you are tall, almost endless bookshelves, reaching up towards the sky and kind of disappearing into that sort of vanishing point. Same in front of you, behind you, in this long hallway that you find yourself in. You're not alone here. Every so often you see a sort of shimmering phantasmal apparition sort of slowly kind of drift by some of the shelves. Give me a religion check. As you're trying to remember what brought you here, and you just can't.
Man, my rolls have not been excellent unless they're attack rolls.
You don't know where you are. You can figure that you probably died, but how? Why? Who am I? As you feel all of these, you try to think back, and every so often one of the memories you kind of dig across just kind of slips through your grasp.
Don't like food. I don't know why, but I'm certain of this.
All of a sudden, you feel a gentle tug from behind you. You turn around, and you see someone that looks faintly like you. They're the same sort of phantasmal shape. They've They're very see-through, but you can see that they've got bad ears, and with a very familiar voice that you can't quite place, they just kind of smile at you and say, "I forgive you, by the way." You feel another tug from behind as you almost try to look, but before that happens, hands seem to grab at every point of your body and roughly tug you back, shooting through the hallways at immense speed as you see one of these walls of bookshelves approaching at almost breakneck pace. You raise your arms up to shield yourself and you smash through, and everything hurts. Dusty, you're alive. You sputtered a breath as you spit out a combined lungful, mouthful, and throatful of blood.
Zerth,
thank me.
got a tight gator hug.
Yark's panting and, out of worry and like joy that he's okay. So,
Zerth, like tears down his eyes as he's just like not letting him go.
I'm not. Fuck.
Boy, don't frighten me like that.
What I did? Fuck.
I will allow the cussing this one time.
That means I'll qualify
Dusty.
bona fide material.
that was horrifying. And I just gotta say, you owe me a meal.
It means I
And
have
at
my
that, he's
kids
gonna
up.
turn around, just roll up into the river.
Yeah,
The river's not looking very clean right now.
You see a faint little shimmering in the river below you. Yark
I
does
think
it.
I was at Yark.
Oh,
I think I was at Yark.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna try to telekinesis it, because I'm not jumping
Alright.
down the river.
You telekinesis it out, and it is the still shining hammer of Rosalin.
I can tell you.
Wash it off a little bit, and then give it back to him.
I'll raise my hand after he washes it, and it just zooms back into it. Hey, I had other concerns. Okay.
What happened? Where did I go?
Memories start to flood back.
Well, you kind of lost your head.
Everyone did that.
Sino! Funny. But later.
Huh. And here she said she wasn't gonna let me do that.
She lies.
Like
You're
all
not
the time.
kill.
So, Zerth, I suppose everyone around would notice as his ears have a slightly different appearance, as well as is his eye. His right eye seems to be completely sort of swelled up, a little bit of blood kind of leaking from it. And Dusty, it's starting to become fairly difficult to form words, as your tongue slowly starts to become numb. The ears themselves, they seem to be a little bit heavier than normal, and reaching up,
Jeez,
it feels there's a slight separation between like the surface layer and the layers beneath, almost like the velvet on a deer's antlers.
she retracted.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm gonna pick both Dusty and Zerth up, and I'm not letting them go.
Give me a strength check for Zerth.
Thank you, but I'm about to be mute, deaf, and blind in one eye.
We'll fix you up with a cool robotic tongue. Oh,
Is that good enough for you?
Yeah, that's good.
I have an idea that might work, but I need a overnight to work on it.
I mean, Zerth could try restoring him.
Well, these ones are definitely missing body parts. He might be able to fix the eye.
Just
I mean, the
remember, Rosalin.
restoration or whatever it's called.
Remember that you can make an entire brand new body to put somebody's soul into before you can reattach a limb or regrow it.
Ain't that crazy?
I don't have that spell.
Regenerates like a level 7 spell.
Mhm.
I'm gonna reach inside me, try and find that divine spark again, because like if I could restore Zerf's heart, I might be able to help Dusty. At least
Hey,
get his tongue back.
Give me a.
before you do that, I have a question. So, Toby, you know how I can use infuse item? I can infuse items with spells.
Mhm.
Normally, it takes a long rest, but can I do it this once? Because I have an idea.
There is also the argument that the parts are there at the moment. They just need to be life-filled again.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
well,
I was wondering if I could.
They aren't missing, they're just not alive anymore.
One moment.
Yeah, but to attach them, technically Revivify cannot do that.
Rosalin, I'm gonna need an insight check.
Oh boy.
This is towards your own sort of personal awareness of everything that's kind of going on. Trying to sort of replicate those same sort of feelings you were kind of pushing towards Zerth. It's hard, and you don't know exactly what's different about this as opposed to Zerth. Maybe it was the fact that his actual heart was gone, or something similar. But when you try to impart that same sort of feeling onto Dusty, it doesn't seem to stick. You get that sensation of the small of your back kind of tingling, the kind of itching of that little quartz crystal for a moment, but it doesn't seem to have any effect on Dusty. Okay, next I believe was Yark. I'd say, since you guys are in a safe location, I say safe quotation marks, I'd say you could do it in a short rest.
He goes over and says, "Rosalind,
I'm 1,400,000.
what's something that like means a lot to you that you wear all the time?"
He has to think about this one.
My helmet, I suppose, since it was the engagement gift from Zerth.
It can't be something magical.
Then my scarf.
All right, cool. Can I see it real quick?
Area.
If I real quick, give me for an hour.
Okay, but be careful. It's my last. It's my last link back to the old world and the old party.
Don't worry, I know. I specifically asked for something that means a lot to you. I won't let it get damaged. And during the short rest, I'm going to use my infuse item ability to put a cure wound spell into the scarf.
Okay.
And once that's done, I give it back. Say use it 4 times. Hopefully, since it's your item and you're casting the spell, maybe it'll have some additional effect.
All right.
Okay, I'll try. Zerth.
Mm-hmm.
She's just gonna hold out a hand to him and then a hand to Dusty.
Take it.
I will attempt to cast Cure Wounds on Dusty.
Yep, go ahead and roll for that healing. I believe it's, what, 2d8?
2d8 plus.
It'd be 2d8 plus 4.
2d8 plus 4.
Ooh, sixes.
So, Dusty,
Hey.
you feel a very unpleasant sort of tingling sensation in your tongue, in your eye, and in your ears. As that slight layer of kind of scarified tissue almost rots before your very eyes. It doesn't feel great. It doesn't taste great, especially for the tongue. But in kind of moving your tongue around absentmindedly, the layer of skin just kind of sloughs off.
Oh.
As you kind of feel at it, spitting it out. It's just kind of bloody and messy. But your tongue feels a little bit sensitive, but it seems okay. Everything in your mouth tastes like blood, but that's fairly understandable since, your entire respiratory system was filled with it a moment ago. And you blink a few times, and the little layer of skin above the eye just flakes off bits at a time, and you kind of wipe it out of your eye. It's just streaming tears as it's just sort of removing all the soil in it. And eventually, your eye's bloodshot, but it no longer has that sort of pulsating red look.
Huh.
Your ears are the simplest by far, as they almost seem to fall off with plenty of sort of blood and messiness, much like a deer's velvet-covered antlers would do. And beneath are extremely pink, hairless, and very sensitive and soft ears. There's this faint line of sort of scarification near the base, where the initial cut was, but the rest of it seems to be fairly kind of intact. It doesn't have any hair on it growing just yet, and it is very sensitive.
Do not drink any hot drinks.
No, do not. I run up and I do the thing where you hug Rosalin. I hug Rosalin, and I do the thing where I lift her up and spin her automatically, saying, "It worked! It worked! It worked!"
You roll strength. You're lifting Rosalin.
Give me. Oh wait, no, you have like 19 strength.
I do have 19 strength.
Okay, since she's a similar size and you got 19 strength, I'd say you can do it.
I'm going to go to the ground afterwards, then pick up Yark and squeeze the life out of him. Good thinking.
I love this. I love this family.
I'll let you know.
Literal bear hug.
Huh. Everything. But
Says no, Seth. No, you just. Oh wait.
I'm gonna need to take it easy for a while.
Yes, you're gonna have to rest.
You lost a lot of blood.
I lost a lot of things. A lot of things I didn't want.
That's fine though, because you could cook for him and help him. Like, I don't know. I hear eating lots helps with blood loss.
Yes, but funny enough, of all the things you've lost, the blood is going to take the longest to get back. Oddly enough.
What if I drink lots?
Actually, that would be very helpful.
Great, I'm back.
You get literally all the nutrients you need in order to create more blood.
Alright, maybe I won't be resting as much unless you bring me someone alive.
Zerth narrows his eyes.
We're just gonna bring him.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the promise. Okay, bring me dead people. Fresh dead people.
One of those coconut cocktails. Only it's not a coconut cocktail, it's just got blood in it.
Bloody Mary, hold the Mary.
Alright. I remember the promise. Just fresh dead people in.
There we go. He
Fine,
rubbed,
right?
he
Okay.
pat the head.
But if you'll excuse me, she turns to Yark again. How the fuck did she get in here?
That's one of the two things I'm wondering. I'm also wondering where Gardner is.
That's a good question.
You guys have guards?
Gardner.
Gardener.
Oh.
Probably protecting the sheep.
Protecting
Yeah, he could
something.
have done so much more. I wanted to see the wildcat fight.
Scott Fields.
Scott Felt.
Scott Phelps.
No,
To be
that's
fair-
perfectly in line with Zerth.
I believe part of this was spawned from an influence.
Part of what?
Her finding us here.
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
She's a
No, 'cause
demigod.
There was
I'm
an
pretty sure.
influence you accepted where the Fury knew where we were when the altar was destroyed.
Oh yeah, I remember that. You guys don't know that though, but you do remember destroying an altar very recently here.
It rubs
Yeah, it
the
was
back
like
of my head.
It was like over a week ago, but like we knew the Fury was gonna eventually come anyway because she gave us that ominous freaking season 2 ending with the claw coming in.
Yeah, Scott Fields.
You can see him. He's on one of the balconies with a crossbow.
I give,
He looks a little bit scared.
I give him a thumbs up. He's good. He's doing his job.
Skyfield, come over here. I'm not a zombie, I promise.
Don't listen to him. Run.
So, it's at about this point that I think we're probably going to wrap it up for the night. Because I
Alright,
think
Dusty.
this is an excellent spot.
know what?
So I'm gonna pick Dusty up with my telekinesis and hold him in my arms and start walking back to the house and say, "Let's take you back to my tavern. I got some orange juice and cookies with your name on it."
No, I think I'm also ready to talk about my feelings. I saw my dead friend.
Cookies first.
And I am mildly traumatized. Just a little bit.
He pats Dusty on the head and says, "Cookies and orange juice."
Zerth and
The
Dusty
thing
are gonna
for
have a
trauma,
bonding
right?
experience over violently dying.
Maybe this is the next Cayman family tradition. Violently die. I mean, Mom did it a lot against Sigma,
Mm-hmm.
but she didn't go down like I did. That's kind of lame of me, I guess.
You lost your head. I lost my heart. It must be on the male side of the Cayman family to lose a vital body part.
Yeah, it's like color blindness when mostly guys get it.
It skips a generation.
Oh no, Yark.
No,
Yep, Yark's next up on the list.
Yep.
I hope it's not my hands. I really
I am
need
now
these.
glad I never officially joined the family.
What are you talking about? You're Dusty's weird uncle.
Yeah. Uncle Sinnoh.
Last
You're
I
next.
checked, you vetoed that, Rosalin.
I think Uncle Tsinil has a good ring to it.
Yep.
So,
Or would you rather be Grandpa Siddle?
All right, select your missing piece. I vote the tail.
Dusty grabs the cleaver. Might as well get it over with now.
Yep.
All
Do the
right.
foot.
Don't worry, this is
All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening for Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons. I will be back tomorrow with more streaming. Do check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, all those good things there on the website, as well as down in the description below.
Goodbye.
Do consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. I am streaming full-time now, but I cannot continue to do so without your support. So please go find that link on our website or down in the description and consider becoming a patron today. do also share the stream with your friends. It's a great way to support the channel. Make sure it keeps on going. It's easy, simple. Just share with your friends and bring them in. Have them come join us for the fun. But for now, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
Goodbye, everybody.
Right,
Have a
everyone.
good
Thank
night.
you for coming. Sweet dreams.
Now I got that song stuck in my head.